presenter of the evening. I'm delighted to hand over to Jodie Whitfield from the DVSA.
Hi, evening everyone. Thanks for inviting me to speak and giving me the opportunity. As Ed just introduced, I'm Jodie Whitfield. I work for Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency. My job within the agency is, as it says there, Rider Policy Specialist, which probably doesn't mean that much to you. A little bit about who I am and what I do. To begin with, I'm not really that different to many of you, I don't think, in that I've got an interest in motorbikes that started at a really young age. So I was 5 when I got my first one, a little red Honda in 1983. Currently ride the BMW 1250 GS, so I'm on the road on that most of the time. And I've been at DVSA since 2014. Before joining DVSA, I worked as a motorbike instructor, teaching people to ride. And then within my time at DVSA, I've been a bike examiner, and then most recently in this rider policy role. What does that really mean? I think that the easiest way of describing what I do currently is support DVSA's decision makers with either technical knowledge around rider training, rider testing, or just anything to do with motorcycling in general, really. Sorry, Ed, is there a different slide there? I was expecting to see how do you get on the road? There we go, thank you. So to help you along this journey, there are some things that you must do and also some things that are optional. You've really got 2 different options to either start off as a learner and then to move on and get a full motorcycle license. So as a learner, the things that you must have or you must do, you must have a provisional driving license and you must complete a compulsory basic training course. We've got a bit more information on both of those a little bit later. The other bit sat in between there is something called Ride Free. Now that's optional, but will help, and I will tell you a little bit about that as well. If you are intending to get a full license, then you need to do the things that are above and then also complete your theory and hazard perception test, the motorcycle module 1 test, and then the motorcycle module 2 test. Again, I've got more information about those for you as well. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is actually getting that provisional license, so applying for a provisional license. So there are 2 different agencies involved in this process. So you've got us, which is DVSA, Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency. So we deal with the training and the testing. The issue with the licenses is dealt with by DVLA, which is Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency. To get a provisional license, probably the easiest way these days is to apply online. If you went onto any search engine or even direct onto gov.uk and typed in provisional license, you would find the links to be able to start going through that process. Current cost of a provisional license is £34. As you are going through that process to apply for it, you will need an identity document and some addresses from the last 3 years. Identity document, ideally, is probably easier if you've got a passport. In terms of an age, the minimum age that you could get on the road on your own would be 16 if you wanted to ride a moped. To enable you to do that exactly on your 16th birthday, which would be quite a good present or gift if you were thinking about doing it, you are able to apply and have a provisional license from being 15 years old and 9 months. So if you've got a 16th birthday coming up, again, so long as you're 15 years and 9 months, you can apply for your license and have everything ready for your birthday. There is a condition of holding a license as well, that you need to be able to read a registration plate from a vehicle from 20 meters away. Again, some of the later presenters have got some information about CBT, and that is one of the things that will be checked when you attend that training. So it might be worth checking that out before you start to look at applying for the license. So moving on to one of the optional things then that you can do. which is Ride Free, if I can spend a little bit of time explaining that to you. So Ride Free is some pre-course learning to complement CBT. It's free, it's online, and there's a lot for you to do to complete your CBT training, but the aim is it should be fun. It's just that there's a lot to learn. So by doing the e-learning before you actually attend the practical session for your CBT, hopefully you should have more knowledge about the kind of rider skills and behaviour that will help you complete that day. By terms of behaviour, we're talking about the interaction that you have with other road users rather than sort of doing good or bad things. The more prepared that you are for that CBT session, the more time you'll have to focus on learning the practical skills and not spend as much time perhaps thinking about the theoretical ones. It'll also give you the opportunity to link all these things that you've learned during the e-learning to the practical skills that you're going through on the day. So within the e-learning, different topics are included. So you've got information about the highway code and hazard perception. Hazard perception is about video clips and recognizing things that could be a risk or a danger to you in enough time for you to be able to take some form of action to maybe try and avoid it. Other things that you've got in there: motorcycle clothing, equipment, and maintenance. So what do you need to wear as a rider to keep you safe? And then also, how can you maintain your motorcycle and your clothing itself, again, to keep you safe? The rider behaviour part, reducing the risk of having an accident, that's trying to get you to think about how you ride your bike and the choices that you make when you're riding your bike. And if you happen to make a bad choice, what effect that might have on you, but also the effect that that might have on the people that are closest to you. Because again, your family, friends, or anybody that is close to you wouldn't want to see you become injured in any way. So Ride Free is a really good package that will help you with that CBT. Compulsory basic training. We've got some more presenters later this evening that will tell you exactly what that entails. But the idea behind it is that it's a practical training course that will allow you to prepare for riding on the road unaccompanied. At the end of the course, if you're successful, you'll be given a CBT certificate. Now that certificate then validates the provisional entitlement on your license. That gives you an opportunity to ride for a further 2 years whilst you prepare to try and get a full license. All the training provided for CBT is through approved trainers by us, Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency. If you're not sure who your closest trainer is, again, over on gov.uk, we have a Find Your Nearest Trainer link. You can put your postcode in there and it will give you a list of all the nearest training providers to where you actually live. In terms of getting that full license, if you want to move beyond the learning period, which would obviously be a great aim or intention for all of you, there's three more things to do. First of all, the motorcycle theory and hazard perception test. That's made up of 50 multiple choice questions, all about riding and the highway code. At the end of that, there are 14 video clips with hazards in for you to identify, and you score points based on how early you identify the developing hazard. The practical test is split into 2 parts, so you've got a motorcycle module 1 and a module 2 test. The module 2 test is some manoeuvres on a specific area. Our test centres located around the country. It takes about 20 minutes to complete, and there's various different slow speed or higher speed manoeuvres. So we'd expect to see you satisfactorily ride a figure of 8, a slalom through some cones, and then be able to safely perform higher speed manoeuvres such as emergency stops. Module 2 test, that again is conducted by one of our examiners. That takes place solely on the road. So somebody like myself would equip you with a radio and then follow behind you for between 30 and 40 minutes. We just give you directions telling you which junctions to take, where to go at roundabouts, etc. And then bring you back round to the test centre. And at the end of that, give you the result of that particular assessment. And all being well, if everything has gone to plan, and was safe, then that will be you acquiring your full motorcycle license. Useful links and questions. I'll come on to that. Where the Ride Free website is on Safe Driving for Life, that's also got lots of other information on there that will help you, such as free mock tests. There's a road sign quiz, and it's also the home of all DVSA's learning material. So if there's anything else you want to look at in terms of learning to ride, you should be able to find that on there. The links that I've mentioned, although they've not popped up on screen, they'll all be posted in the chat or shared with you at the end, so you don't need to worry if you've missed anything or not written anything down. And like the slide says there, if anybody's got any specific questions, then once all the presenters have finished, we can go through and we can answer anything that you think would be useful and help you along. So that's everything from me. Thank you for giving me the chance to speak to you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the presenters and the rest of the evening.